Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you as usual for watching the videos, for sharing, for commenting. You guys are absolutely amazing. I am so happy to be back today. I hope you had a wonderful Tuesday. And I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've eaten. I hope everything is great for you. So if you are new here, my name is MWAKA MUGALA, and on my channel, I talk about all things beauty, health, and lifestyle. I like to share stories. I like to have people on, play games. It's just full-on entertainment, but also information. And if you are new and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button below and watch my other videos as well so you can get to know more about me. If you have subscribed already, thank you. You guys are amazing. Alrighty, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about common Zambian myths. Here we go.
This is me, whether you like it or not. Quick to talk, but you do not do a lot. If I change, then it will be for the better. No apology, so don't expect.
All right, thank you so much once again for joining me. Do follow me on my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. So I'm going to get right into it. As it says in the title, I am going to be talking about common Zambian myths. Now, a myth is basically a traditional story, and it's usually brought about by people from the past, who like to explain why things happen the way they do. And it typically involves supernatural beings or events. So I don't know if you have heard any of these myths, but I'm going to be sharing some of them, and these are quite common. So let's get right into it. Now, the first one is about Danyami Nyami. I'm sure some of you have heard of it. If you haven't, I'm going to tell you all about it. So the Nyami Nyami is basically known as the Zambezi river god. Now, what had happened was, this is something that is originates from the southern province, the Tonga people. The Tonga people from southern province believe that this Nyami Nyami is their protector. So according to legend, Nyami Nyami and his wife lived at the site of the Kachiba Dam, before it was built. And the construction in 1956 led to sort of a displacement of the people there, the animals and everything. And because of this, Nyami Nyami and his wife were separated. Of course, him and his wife loved each other so much. But because they were separated, he was very angry with this. And this caused him to unleash the biggest flood that anyone had ever seen in 100 years. And this happened in 1957. So a year later when that flood happened, a year after that flood happened, 17 people had died when they were trying to construct the Kachiba Dam. So the locals there believe that the reason why these people died was because Nyami Nyami was not happy that they were building a dam, and they didn't ask for permission. So they were supposed to ask for permission and they didn't, and that's what had happened. So Nyami Nyami is basically depicted as like this creature with a fish head and the body of a serpent. Yeah, pictures right there. So I've actually seen a statue of this Nyami Nyami in Siavonga, where we would shoot the village scenes for the show Zuba. We used to shoot at this place called Lesotho Village, right? So about an hour away from there, that's where we would lodge from. And it was this place with a nice beachfront, and the place was so beautiful, nice and simple. Of course, there were my insects here and there because it was kind of like basically in the wild, but the accommodation was really nice. And they had a statue of the same Nyami Nyami. And then even at night, like they would always say, don't go near the water, because obviously there were hippos and other animals. So they said at night they would come out. But they also used to say, like, if you go too close to the water at night, then the spirit of the Nyami Nyami would grab you and you'd fall in the water, and the fishermen would be like, look, we won't be able to find you, so just stay away from the water at night. And I was just like, what? So after hearing the story and the reasons why, I was just like, okay, you know. But one of the fishermen there actually even claimed to have seen this Nyami Nyami. And he said he saw it once when like it was raining, because it only comes out once a year, and the water levels rise when it rains really, really heavily. So you see like at a distance, you get to see like this Nyami Nyami. Yeah, so anyway, I know that this is kind of similar to the Loch Ness Monster. It's a similar story, one of those that you never see, but you see it once in a while. Anyway, we're not getting into that. We're talking about local myths. And speaking of local myths, the next one is the spirit of Kapemboa. Now, the Lungu people in northern province Zambia, they believe in the spirit of Kapemboa. This resides in a shrine in Kapemboa village, where people who want to cross Lake Tanganyika safely go there to like pray and ask for guidance and safety, and then so on and so forth. So, according to legend, there are 2 shrines at this this Kapemboa place in Kapemboa village. One is man-made and one was made by the spirit itself. So according to legend, there are 2 shrines in this Kapemboa village, right? So one is man-made and one is made by the same spirit of Kapemboa. No one knows how it came about, but it was just made by the same spirit. And according to legend, people will only see the spirit or the shrine made by the Kapemboa spirit if they're pure at heart. So if you have a bad heart, you won't be able to see the spirit. And as time goes by, or as time went by rather, they started sacrificing. I'm sorry, I can't say that with a straight face, because like some of these myths are rather, strange, but they started sacrificing virgins by throwing them off the cliff in order to appease the spirit, and so on and so forth. And if you are pure at heart, you get to see the spirit, which looks like, it's almost like a house that shines brightly and it shows all the rainbow colors. So that's the spirit. So I was just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I don't know what you guys think of this myth. Do let me know in the comment section below. Does it sound true? If you are watching this from around Lake Tanganyika, or if you used to live there, or if you've heard about it, do let me know. If you've maybe visited the shrine, I'm curious to know if you have seen it. Okay, so the third myth is the spirit of Mutumuna. Now, the Mutumuna Falls are located above the Chishimba Falls in the northern province of Zambia. And it is said that the spirit of Mutumuna lived a short distance south of the falls. This spirit represents a brother and a sister, Makumba and Ngosa. And according to legend, these guys just fell from the sky, just from nowhere. They just fell from the sky, no idea why. So this shrine is tended to by a high priestess called Chitemwene. I don't know why I almost said Chitemene system, but yeah, I'm sure you know that song. So Chitemwene is the one who tends to this shrine, and she makes sure that there's a fire that never goes out. I don't know how she does it, but this fire has to constantly keep burning. And the visitors who visit the spirit of Mutumuna, they're not supposed to use any vulgar language. They're not supposed to have intercourse. They're not supposed to portray any violence while they're there. So it's, yeah, that's one of the myths. And it kind of reminds me of this one time. We were shooting in Kafue. That's where we shot okay, should I release these secrets? Anyway, so yeah, we were shooting some scenes there. I won't say which scenes, just in case. And we were crossing from one end to another. So we had to pass like some falls because we needed to shoot at some waterfalls. So as we were getting there, the person who was guiding us told us that there was a shrine somewhere nearby. And he basically gave us instructions like, you're not supposed to carry salt in your pocket, which was weird because I had salt in my pocket because you know those little sachets, yeah, because we had to have breakfast, and so I had some salt, and I was just like, I'm not allowed to carry salt, that's weird. So he also told us that we're not allowed to insult, we're not supposed to speak very loudly, and so on and so forth. So when I read about this, I actually remembered that experience, and I'm like, wow, there are places where these myths are actually believed. Like the locals there, they respect these myths to the core. And I always believe that myths, they kind of, in a way, help build society. Sometimes it explains why society functions a certain way, but On the other hand, they can kind of ruin society. I mean, imagine going to a place and you're scared to carry salt because, like, guys. Anyway, moving on to the next myth. This one is about Lake Kachiba. This is a sunken lake in Mpongwe, that's on the Kapemboa province. There's several myths surrounding this, and one of them is the presence of Ichitapa. I hope I say that right. Yes, Ichitapa, or Isoka Ikulu. I think it means a big snake, right? So this is a monster which preys on the shadows of people. So like if you stand too close to that lake, that sunken lake, it'll grab you and then like pull you down and take you to the bottom and you'll never be seen again. I don't know why some of these myths exist, to be honest, but I've heard something like that where it wasn't in that same place, but it was somewhere close where some students went to swim. My dad told me this story, so it was a long time ago. Some students went to swim from like a school, and the fishermen there kept telling them like, don't go into the water, don't go into the water. They didn't listen, of course. So one of them, like some kid, was swimming and then he went too deep into the water. It's like he slipped and he fell. Apparently they tried to like look for him and everything. They were scared, they were panicking, but then they saw like this little mermaid kind of that pushed the boy out. So they found him like miles away after that. And which actually brings me to the next myth, which is Hitapo, the water mermaid, or Mami Water. So I know a lot of people always talk about mermaids and like, oh no, they don't exist. Others are like, they do exist in the spirit world, and so you don't get to see them and blah, 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 blah. So Kitapo, also known as the water mermaid, resides in Kafue River. So yeah, that story must have happened in Kafue because I remember it was like south-ish. Yeah, so Kafue River, this mermaid, like I said, she saves children, like when they fall in the water or when there's like a rapid or, you know, the waves are too aggressive and children can't swim. So she'll save that child and take it back to the surface. And only those who are virtuous or pure at heart will get to see this mermaid. So sometimes fishermen will even claim like, you know, maybe they're trying to fish and then they see a kama mermaid like bobbing its head up and down and just like peeps. Imagine you're fishing, you're just minding your business, right? And then you see a mermaid. How would you react? Like, would you be scared or what? And I wonder how they look, because some people say like they look so beautiful, like they're beautiful, you are drawn to their beauty, and then once you see it, you can't resist its beauty. So it'll keep drawing you closer to it, and then once you reach close enough to it, it'll eat you up. I think I've seen scenes like that in like Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, even in Harry Potter. So, you know, like, it's so funny we have such stories, but even everywhere else in the world, they do have their own versions of like mermaids and stuff. Other people say they don't look as attractive, like they look like fish. Imagine a human that looks like a fish. Yeah, so, you know, different stories, different people. I don't know what you think about these myths. I mean, some of them do sound believable, others not so much. But I will give you one last myth as you guys comment in the description box below and share your own myths and what else you have heard, either from your friends or your grandparents or your parents. Yeah, do let me know. I would love to read about that. So this last one, compared to the others, you know, the others kind of don't seem so believable, and of course only the locals would know about it, but this one was kind of like, it took the cake for me. So this last myth is explaining why the sky is too high, right? So a long time ago, legend has it that the sky was actually quite closer and very reachable. And because of that, prayers were answered quicker because, you know, they didn't take so long to get to the sky. So people would pray and their prayers would be answered quickly. Arguments would be resolved in a short space of time because, you know, the sky is shorter. But the gods apparently were not happy after a while because the women would always be quarreling, and they didn't like that, you know. It was very disturbing. Imagine people are quarreling and you're just like right next door hearing all their arguments and stuff. And on top of that, the children like would mess up the sky, you know, if they're playing in mud, and then they like touch the sky, and the gods were not happy with that. So in my head, I'm just like, okay, but is the sky touchable though? You know, for them to mess it up. Anyway, the gods were not happy with that. So because of that, they decided to move the sky further. And that's why the sky is very, very far up now, so that, you know, they don't really get to hear the noise as much as, you know, I mean, yeah, they don't get to hear the noise whenever it happens, and they're just far away from us. So the sky is high because it is our fault, you know. Yeah, that one took the cake for me. So I don't know what you think about these myths. Let me know once again in the comment section below. Do you believe them or not? Let me know as well. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are absolutely amazing as usual. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'm curious to hear from you as well. What else would you like to hear from me? Whether it's a myth, whether it's a scary story. I like telling scary stories, but yeah, we'll maybe get into that later. But for now, let's just take baby steps. Thank you once again for watching. Have a great evening. Take care. Mwah.
This is me, whether you like it or not. Quick to talk, but you do not do a lot. If I change, then it will be for the better. No apology, so don't expect a letter. Sit down and listen, eh?